Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys? I hope you're well. I'm sorry for the little bit of a delay to get on for to see you guys. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel and get notifications, you will probably have seen me pop up on there, just trying out to see if we could live stream to both. Again, problems as usual, but a slightly different problem this time, in that I could stream to YouTube but not to Facebook this time, which normally it's the other way around. So I am a little bit confused, but I will figure this out at some point. So hello everyone, I hope you're all really well. I hope you're having a lovely Monday. This is a strange one for us, I know, to be doing a Monday stream, but yeah, I wanted to do an extra little Facebook live, because we missed last Thursday and I missed crafting with you last week, but I was just, things were so busy. I had to say something's got to give, and unfortunately it had to be the live. So hello to everyone. Hello Esther, hello Julie. Lauren's popping in quickly to say hi. Hello Lauren. Catherine's with us. Paula's with us. Hello from Costa Rica. Hello there. Petra says she saw me on YouTube but you couldn't hear me. Ah, right, okay. So that was the audio wasn't set up right then. So thank you, Petra. I do need to do a little bit of more experimenting with that, but I intend to do that over the coming weeks. Jess is here, but she's prepping a late dinner. Mum's at work, but she says hi. Oh, that's so cute. Hello to you both. Hello to you both. So I can see all of your comments, but for some reason it was not fully caught up with the visuals, which is a bit weird. So and now I've lost all your comments. Facebook's being a bit weird on me tonight, which is not good news, is it? So let's try this again. So hopefully I'll be able to see your comments as we go along. It's not showing me them at the moment, but that's quite annoying, because now it's saying I can't see your comments at all. Right, let's come out of this and go back in again. That's usually the best way, isn't it? Turn it off and turn it back on again. So how is everybody on this Monday evening? What have people been working today? Has anybody been doing any crafting today? Anything exciting been happening? It's just really nice to be able to catch up with you guys and just have a little bit of a chat with you all. I know it's virtually and I can't really, see any of you, but just knowing that you're out there and that you're going about your day-to-day stuff, prepping your dinner, going about your business, but also possibly crafting along with me, but is really nice to know that you're out there. So like I say, I'm having a couple of issues with my Facebook page here at the moment to be able to view you. I don't know why that is. So I'm just going to keep going, and hopefully it will catch up with me at some point. I think it must just be that time, perhaps. I don't know. So for those of you that don't know, I missed our usual Thursday slot because I was on Create and Craft on Friday, about 1:30, and I'd got loads of prep to do and lots of organising of myself to do, so I had to miss the Thursday evening. And it's been such a tiring weekend because we had orders from the new release. We had obviously the aftermath of Create and Craft as well, which is always a really busy time, and it's always quite stressful for me when I get home, because it's a long day, and it's you know, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, so sometimes it is just a bit it's quite tiring afterwards. So had a little bit of a weekend off, but I knew that I would be wanting to get back into doing some crafting with you guys this week, so I wanted to add in this extra live so that I could say hello to you all. So Julie says that Petra had the same issue, found me but no sound. So yeah, so I thought possibly it would pick up the sound from my phone, but it doesn't. You need a separate audio, so I have got that, but I will have to have a little play around with that. Hello to Alison Jane Green and Alison Chelsea. Claire Harrison says that she worked today and helped at Brownies this evening, and now it's her time to be colouring in. So you're doing some colouring in, that's awesome. And Julie says she managed to die cut a few of her new items from the latest release and got to stamp them tomorrow, hopefully. Oh, that's fantastic. So, so some of you have been able to get some crafty time in today, which is really cool. That's awesome. I'll just have a little drink there of my brew. So these are some of the cards that I took with me to Create and Craft that I've just put here, so that you've got something to look at. But yeah, I did really enjoy playing with these sets. And I did just want to show you guys this one, because this was one that I was really quite pleased with how it turned out. And I was thinking about doing it on the TV, but in the end I decided against it. But this one was some stenciling with the Large Roses stencil, and I stenciled it onto vellum, and then fussy cut the roses out and used them on my background here, and then I used the envelopes from the postage stamp die set and one of the sentiments from the You've Got Mail set, and I just think that that's a really pretty card. So so yeah, so I just it's something that I've not done before, and was a bit of you know, a different style for me, and a different take on things, and like Annalisa, I've never stenciled onto vellum before, so I actually stenciled onto the vellum and then turned my image over, so that when you rub against the card, if you touch the card, you're not going to get ink on your fingers. I used a tape runner to adhere them so you don't see any of the adhesive. So I just thought that was worth mentioning as a different option, if you fancied doing that. Kirsty from Scotland. Hello, Kirsty. Are you a first-time viewer? I don't recognise your name, so it's lovely to have you join us. Annalisa says she really likes the splatter underneath. Yes, again, that was just makes for a really simple background, doesn't it? Jane says that she's watching while cooking dinner, so everybody looks like everybody's tea time. We obviously eat early on when we're doing a Facebook Live, because obviously we need to eat before we come on air. But it's also Ant's gone to work tonight. He's on nights today, so we super early when he's on nights, and we call it like nanan tea time, you know, like all the pensioners go and have an early tea at like 5:30, so which we're not used to, so no doubt I will be starving after this. Angie, hello, how are you this evening? So tonight's card, got a couple of ideas that I wanted to do. I want to have a play with the paper pals, because I feel like I've not really played with those, and I also want to use the houses from the Hillside Village stamp set. Now I have already got these die cut and printed out, so that is obviously going to speed up the card making this evening, but we'll still obviously be able to show some techniques and stuff as we go along. So yeah, so some of it is already pre-done, but I don't think that's going to take away from what we're going to be doing at all tonight. I don't know why my for some reason I can see all of your comments, which is great, and I really that's probably all I need to see, but I can't see anything moving on screen. So can you guys see? Is the video actually working for you guys, or is it just me that it doesn't seem to be working for? Just having some real Facebook issues this evening, which is, I don't normally have them. Since I've moved to this new craft space, I don't seem to have the same internet issues, or I didn't. So my connection's been much better, which is why I thought, right, let's try and see if we can do a stream to YouTube, because it's something that in the previous craft space I wasn't able to do because the connection was so poor. It just couldn't handle it. But maybe it's still not the best, even where I am now, because I think certain times of day it can still really struggle. So let's move on to doing some fun stuff, some crafty stuff. So I really want to use this this village, which is from, like I say, from the Hillside Village stamp set. So let me just grab that so I can show you this stamp set. So mine's got all kinds of masking tape all over it, so let me just pull that out. So because I did use this to make a card for my my in-laws who have just moved house, and so I did make them a card with this, and I did case the idea from I think it was Lindsay who made a really beautiful card in just black and white, stamping the houses and masking those off and creating a whole stack of houses, and then just colouring in one house in the middle that was their house, which I just thought was a really cool idea for a moving home card. So that's why I've got all the masking. So let's have a look. It still doesn't look like it's moved on screen for me, so I'm hoping. Petra says it's all fine, and Lisa says yes, I'm moving. Hello to Siobhan, and Kirsty says all is fine there. So it must just be me then that's just stuck. So as long as I can see your comments, then I think we're fine. So so this stamp set comes with the coordinating dies as well. So you can see I've already coloured and cut that out, and then I want to use some of the paper plane pals because I do love these little characters, and there's a couple of other cards designs that I've got in mind, but we might do some of those on Thursday, so we might do this over 2 shows. Because you may remember as Lilac Dreams Studio. Right, so do you have I unfortunately I've got a terrible memory for names and things, so yeah, so if I do know you, I do apologise. I can never remember anything, Ant will tell you. I have to rely on his much younger memory than mine. So I've got my little cat here in his paper plane, which I think is really cute. I think I'm going to go with the cat today. I know we've got Angie on who's watching as well. She's a big cat lover, so I think we'll go with the cat. And I just think the colour that I've already coloured him in goes well with our scheme. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to use. But I need a background, and I need some things to ground my little character. So I'm going to grab some cardstock here. Let me get my get some of my pre-cut cardstock. So I'm going to cut this down, but I want to create a background. Let's create some space for myself. Move those out of the way. So I'm going to grab my silicone mat here so that I've got, I can do a little bit of stenciling. So I'm going to do a bit of stenciling. I've been, again, those of you that have been watching me for a while will know that I've been trying to look after my my mat here. I just need to make sure that I'm in shot for you here because I can't see it on screen for some reason. It's been very, very strange. Yeah, it's been real weird. I wonder if I can, just bear with me guys, I'm just going to try something else. I think it might be because I've got it, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Just doing a bit of talking to myself guys, apologies. But then I'm thinking I could probably see it on my PC rather than there we go, that's a bit better. So at least I can see it on there. Oh, I'm very much on the wonk there, aren't I? I just need to turn my volume down, otherwise you'll be able to hear me. You don't want to hear me. There we go. So yeah, so maybe that will help. I don't like watching it on my PC. I'd rather watch it on my my iPad here because then it's a little bit closer. But needs must, as they say. Oh no, I've lost comments now. Technology, the bane of my life, as always. So I'm going to do some stenciling on my background, and I'm going to take the Slimline stencil, the new Slimline stencil, which has got these clouds, these cute clouds, because I think it would be quite fun to do a nice cloudy sky, and I've got you know, my little houses there that are already coloured that I'm going to use as my little bit of a, I guess, my inspiration for colours. I want to keep them a little bit muted because these are a bit more of a muted palette in terms of them being a bit more like traditional houses, whereas normally I would go quite bright and rainbow. I'm thinking let's try and keep it a little bit more true to life, but I don't want to make it dark. I'm not into the you know, a dark colour scheme at all. So because, you know, like I say, we like to make nice colourful cards. At least I do anyway, that's my preference. But I'm going to try some of this stormy sky just to see what this might look like. I don't really use this colour a lot, so I think it'd be quite interesting to see what this might look like. And I'm going to use one of my rainbow blender brushes here. So I think I'm going to use one of the new ones because this has got a bit of a darker blue on it. So this is the one that I'm going to use for my darker blues, I think. And I'm going to, let's have a look here. Let's, because I'm going to have, my house is going to be down here. So I'm going to create some floor at some point down there, but let's start here. And I'm just going to apply this really lightly to begin with because I don't really know how stormy I want my sky to be. I don't know what the weather's been like around you, but we've had beautiful blue skies here in Sheffield today, but yesterday was pretty grey, so it's been a little bit changeable, shall we say. So yeah, I quite like that kind of colour of blue, because I think it's going to go with the colour of our houses. So I'm going to flip this over so that I've got a different pattern of, yeah, it's not feeling it. My iPad's having a moment, I think that's what it is. So I'm just going to flip this over and move my pattern of clouds over. And again, I'm just using a light touch, which is easy to do with the brushes. And then just going to add a little bit more colour there. And this is one of my favourite techniques, is making the clouds with the stencils, because I just think it looks so pretty every time you do it. You get a different effect, and it's so easy and simple to do, and you can do it in so many different colours. You can have a rainbow skyline, you can have a quite dramatic sunsetty skyline, but you can still add the cloud shapes to it no matter what it is that you're doing. So I do think this is a really fun one to do, and I think the shapes on this particular stencil are really, really, really fun. So just going to add, just keep layering them up, flipping your stencil over, adding some more ink, and it's just one of those techniques that just, I think, it's really simple but looks so effective, and it just makes it look like you're just, you know, you're a real crafty expert without a lot of effort, which is what I like. So I'm going to just add a last layer in here, I think. That should just about get us to the top, and I'll probably end up cutting a little bit of this off, but that's okay. So yeah, look, those tumbling rolling clouds just look amazing, don't they? So, and then at the bottom here, just because these are quite white, I'm just going to add a little bit of the colour along the bottom. Now I do want a little bit of green, I think, in front, or should I go for a road in front of my street here? So I quite like the idea of maybe making that a street. So I may mask that off and make that a grey street, or we could add some green, which I think would bring out the colour of our doors. So yeah, I might do that, which will just make it just pop a little bit in terms of colour. I don't want it to be too, like I say, too dark. We still want it to be a colourful card, but I also like the idea of it being a little bit more muted. So okay, so I am still trying to get logged onto this so that I can see. I've lost your comments again, so I'm sorry guys if you're chatting away to me, because I can't see what you're saying at the moment. So I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape now to mask off the bottom of this scene, so that I can add some of my green. So let's just grab this, and I'm going to pop that on there, and then let's just double check. I probably need to just double check the size of my cat and his paper plane. Has he got enough room to sew? Yes, he has. I think that might be a good position. So like I say, I'm probably going to cut this down a little bit. So let's just take that off there. I'm going to just clean off my my brush here with my microfiber cloth. Oh, I might have some success. Yay! I can see your comments now, and I can kind of see me, although I've frozen a little bit again, but you know. So Cam says she loves the houses. Yay. Angie says she's going to be colouring her house stamps in shades of blue and white. I love that. That's very Greek houses, isn't it? Is that in honour of the Greek houses? That's a really cool idea. Annalisa says, I need to use Stormy Sky now. I hardly ever use it, and I was looking at it just yesterday. I know, I hardly ever use it, but I just thought it would go really well with this. Paula says that the colours of the houses are great. Annalisa says, poor Jo. She's so great at these lives, but the tech always gets in the way. The tech does always get in the way. It's so annoying. So, green. What green shall I go for? I'm thinking, I've been really enjoying using the Lucky Clover, you know, lately. I do think this is a really nice shade of green. It's just a little bit brighter, a bit cheerier than some of the others. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that. And again, I think it goes quite well with the colour that I've used in the doors. So I'm just going to apply a light coverage of that to begin with, and then just see how I feel about that, and then I might build up on it. But I do think I quite like this colour. I think this is another one of those colours that I think you tend to go for, or at least I tend to go for more of maybe the Mowed Lawn or the Twisted Citron, seem to be, you know, your go-to greens. And I think that the Lucky Clover gets a little bit neglected, shall I say. Certainly by me anyway. So let's have a look, see what we think. Yeah, you see, I think that's a really good match here for the greens here. So I'm going to be a bit braver now, and I'm going to just deepen that green, because when you layer your Distress Oxides, you really do get a really nice blend and a lovely rich creamy colour. So and I do think that just looks really, really good. I do like the layering of the Distress Oxides. It takes away that kind of almost the wishy-washy look. It's very, very nice and bold and smooth. So I'm pleased with that. Alison Chelsea says, I normally go for Mowed Lawn. It's what I did earlier too. Yeah, that's it. You have your go-to colours, don't you? And I just think sometimes it's nice to just try something a little bit different and see how that works, because you might actually surprise yourself and end up with a new favourite. So like I say, I've been really drawn to the Lucky Clover lately. So that was my green. So let's just pop that back. So I'm going to very, very carefully remove my washi tape off here. Hopefully we won't rip our cardstock, because this washi tape, when it's first used, can be a little bit it's got quite a good stick to it. So I have fallen foul of ripping my cardstock before, but I seem to have done a fairly decent job of that, which is good to know. So that's cool. So I think that could possibly be our background pretty much done. And I think that the how cute does that look? Oh, I'm very happy with that. So let's just wipe our surface. Now I don't know whether to mount this onto just a white background, or whether I might want to have colour in the background. That's my question, and to whether I want to do that in maybe some of the blue or some of the green. That's the question. Excuse me. So I started saying to you that I was trying to look after my my mat, wasn't I? Didn't I? And I don't know if I finished that conversation. I haven't been looking after it at all well, but I've given it a good clean before tonight because I thought I need to really get back to looking after this properly, because it's not on, is it? I think if I wasn't filming, I would probably use a glass mat, because it's much hardier for doing all different techniques, but the glare is too much when filming, so that's why I don't do that. So I'm going to cut, like I say, I'm going to cut this down, and I just want to figure out quite how much I want to cut it down by, because I still want there to be enough room for my little flying kitty. So let's have a look. So yeah, you see he's quite that's very cute though, isn't it? But I feel like I want more green. So I think I'm going to use the largest frame there, but that will still give us a small border around the outside, which I think looks good. Oh dear, it's cut out again, my iPad. So I think my iPad may have decided to give up the ghost. It just feels very, very hot, I have to say. So maybe it needs a little bit of a rest. Julie says, looks fantastic, loving the background. I've not done any card making recently, but doing a very large diamond painting. Looking forward to making some cards this week. That's awesome. I think I saw a quick, just as I was trying to organise myself, I got a quick view of your diamond painting. It looked amazing. They do look like a very therapeutic craft, I would say. So yeah, very you could kind of lose yourself in it. You'll have to excuse me for a moment, because I'm going to use my die cutting machine, which is a bit noisy. So if you don't like the loud noises of the die cutting machine, I would suggest you mute me for a second or two while I just put this through my machine. So mute me now. Oops. I'm back. So yes, yeah, I do like the look of those diamond paintings. I used to do such a lot of cross stitch back in the day, probably before I did card making, but also after I was you know, discovered papercraft and card making. I did still really enjoy the cross stitch, and I pulled all of my I've got like a little sewing bag or a knitting bag that I used to store all of my cross stitch patterns in, and I've got quite a few that I still haven't you know, finished, some that I haven't even started, and I bet Angie can guess what the topic of most of those cross stitch kits is, because yes, it's all cats. Oh, how cute is he? So yeah, so it's so, and I did pull, like I said, I pulled them all out because I thought, right, I'm definitely going to do these at some point, but then I just never got a chance to. So yeah, it's such a shame, because I did really enjoy them. So it might be, and I think sometimes it's really nice to do, because this is my job, it's nice to do some crafting that isn't my job, you know, that is just crafting for the sake of crafting. So we've got sentiments of the sky's the limit, let your dreams take flight, or we've got flying by to say hi, which is quite cute. I quite like that one, I think, the flying by to say hi. I think that's quite a nice little sentiment, isn't it? It's a nice little sentiment to send to a friend, this one, definitely. So we've got the flying by to say hi. That could sit there, couldn't it? So that's I mean, if you're, I know you guys are, some of you guys are really organised with your I do quite like the clouds, but I put some bling on them and I don't think the bling goes, or the colour of the clouds goes, so I might re-stamp those and add those in, because I think that adding some more dimension with other clouds is quite a nice thing to do. So yeah, I think that for those of you that are a bit organised and do all like Julie's doing some stamping and die cutting, aren't you? Of certain images, and then you have them in your stash ready to make cards with. Then once you've done your background, really this has come together really quite nicely and quickly. So we might have a chance to do another card, a quick one after this. So right, so I was going to stamp out some. I've got a scrap piece of cardstock here, which would be perfect, I think, for stamping some of my extra little clouds. So in the stamp set we get a couple of different cloud options, and we also get some little birds there as well, which were always very handy. Now, if you because you get the coordinating dies with these. If you wanted to, you could just stamp out, just die cut the cloud, but I like the stamped image. So, and I'm just going to use my acrylic block for this because they're only small stamps. And I've been trying to practice using my acrylic block a little bit more, get into the, you know, a bit more into the habit of actually using the acrylic block rather than just my stamping platform. I just think it's a good, you know, skill to keep practiced, if you like. And at the end of the day, if this doesn't work out and I don't stamp it perfectly first time, it's okay. I can just flip it over and do it on the other side if I need to. But this is a really good acrylic block that I've got. And the stamps are really good as well, so as long as my ink's pretty you know, well inked, the chances are I'll get a good first impression. So give that a little bit of a wipe with my chamois. Excuse me. So do I just need those two, do you think? Do I need another one? I might do another one of these little ones. I'll just put that away. I'm thinking that might be good to just layer up a couple of these. So I'll just stamp that one down there. And then we'll see. Yeah, I think maybe my iPad's just got a bit overheated, you know. It does feel very, very hot, which I'm sure it's probably not supposed to. So I don't know why it's got overheated, but it's still very strange. Technology is, not only is technology being the bane of my life this week, we're also having some issues with our plumbing. Our sink, well, our taps are making a very strange rumbling noise whenever we turn them on. which we've had someone out to look at and seems to think that it's the pipes vibrating together, but we don't seem to have a solution to it yet. So that's some fun and games. And for the most part, if you just jiggle the tap about a little bit, it switches itself off, which you know is fine then. But it did just start doing it randomly at 4:30 this morning, which was nice rude awakening. So yeah, so that's good fun, especially when you're already tired. You don't need to be woken up in the middle of the night, do you really? So let's have a look here now. I'm going to use my little mini die cutting machine for these because these are small and it's not as noisy as my larger one, so that'll save all of our ears. So I'm just catching up with some of your comments because I'm having to read them on the PC. So Julie says, yes, got to replenish other drawers of stamp images too after Harry has taken loads when he was crafting recently. How so has he been pinching all of your stash of pre-cut images? That's so cute. Lucy's here. Hello, Lucy. And Julie says that she's also been using her acrylic block when stamping smaller images onto die cut card, or if only doing a couple rather than lots. Yeah, that's it. It's nice to just be able to do that. It's a little bit I don't know, it just seems a little bit easier, doesn't it, and a little bit quicker sometimes to be able to just bring out that acrylic block. So that's die cut beautifully, so I'm happy with that. So put that on there. And Annalisa says that random alarms used to go off in the middle of the night when Dan was travelling and drove you nuts. They never went off when he was home. That's just typical, isn't it? I know, that's it. Well, you see, this is it. These are the kinds of things that happen to me when Aunt's on nights. That I have a disturbed sleep. We've been having all kinds of adventures there with not being able to get to bed at a decent time because Rosie is loving, our kitten Rosie is loving the weather at the moment. It's perfect, pardon the pun, for cats, isn't it, at the moment, because the temperature cools down in an evening, and it's perfect for going and doing a bit of hunting. So she's not been wanting to come in at night. She's been off carousing, and in the last week the last 10 days, probably not exactly a week, we've probably had 3 little mice brought home to us. Some of them haven't made it, unfortunately. One of them we did manage to free. But yes, she thinks she's very clever, bringing us all these little presents that we don't actually want. So that's not been so much fun either. So I do love the idea of having a couple of these clouds knocking about the place. I'm not quite sure where all of them will go yet, but I feel like we might have one. They might just kind of hang off the edge of the picture here, and a little cat will be there, and maybe one just there would be quite cute. Yeah, I quite like that little arrangement. I think that's looking quite cute. Angie says that she's had quite a few mices too this week. Yes, it's definitely that time of year, unfortunately, isn't it? So I'm going to remove all of my little pieces here, and let's get some of these stuck down, shall we? So I think I'm going to start with my base, and I'm going to pop this up on some foam because I think a little bit of dimension on here will be rather awesome. And I'm going to use my super thick tape here. This large roll of tape is still going strong. I am going to be putting in an order for some more of the shaker tape shortly, because I've had quite a big order for that recently. So I will be restocking that. So I think I'm going to take the plunge and buy some of this for the shop, because it is the best tape that I have ever used, hands down the best. It's just, it's expensive, so, but it's lasted me ages. You guys know that I've been talking about this for ages, and it's just amazing. So it is, like I say, it is a bit more pricey, but it will last for ages, and it's the best that I've ever used. So and I just think when you find something like that that is so good, then you just, it's worth the expense, isn't it? I think so. So yes, I'm definitely going to look into that for you guys. So nice bit of dimension on there, which is cool. Sorry that my head had to pop into view for you there. Alison says, we stopped ours catching so many by putting a bell on her collar. So our kitties don't wear a collar, and they never have done. I've never been a fan of the collars really, but mainly because they've never been able to stay on, which is, you know, they just pull them off and lose them, and yeah. So you know, again, it was kind of, you were finding them hanging from bushes and trees, and again, fighting a bit of a losing battle and forever having to buy new collars. So so yeah, so again, I gave up the ghost on that one. So I'm using some of that shaker tape here, on here, because again, this is really good for dimension. It's a good thickness, and it's very robust. So again, it is one of my favorite tapes to use, and it does, again, it just lasts for ages, which is what it's what you want. You don't want to be spending £6-7 on a roll of tape and it be gone in 5 minutes. I get so frustrated with the tape runners, because they are great for convenience, but they're gone in seconds, and I'm just, so, well, I've paid all that money for, you know, in the end, all right, it might only be a couple of pound for a tape runner, but I can probably get, you know, maybe 2 or 3 projects out of it before it's gone. So that just seems a little bit excessive to me. So I've covered this in loads of tape, because I do like, you know, to add that, just make it a little bit sturdier, and just smoothing that out, make sure there's no curves in that, and then you can remove our tape. Oh, come here. There we go. And it's more often than not, I do add foam rather than use like a tape runner or use adhesive tape. And if I'm going to stick anything down flat, I do tend to use liquid adhesive. I wasn't sure I'd put that on straight, but that's as straight as it's going to be. So, for example, my little kitty here, I am going to stick him. So you can, I don't know if you'll have realised, but the paper plane die cut cuts a little gap there in the centre of the paper plane, so that you can add your little critter inside. So it fits all of the critters, the slit there. You don't have to add that if you don't want to, but it just means that they fit and tuck nicely inside, so it looks like they're actually sat in the paper plane rather than on top of the paper plane, which I just think is a really nice touch. But obviously if you pop them in there, they do tend to sit up a little bit, which is quite cute. You could do a little three-dimensional paper plane that way if you wanted to, but I want him to sit flat, so I'm going to use some of my liquid glue to make that happen. So just catching up on some of the comments. Julie says, oh yeah, large foam roll tape is exciting. Alison Chelsea says, I did go through a few. She's too old now, she just sits and watches. Yeah, to be fair, Clyde doesn't, he's not bothered. But Rosie's still being a little bit of an excitable kitten. Anything that moves, she's interested. I mean, she thinks that she can pluck birds out of the sky, which I'm certain at some point probably will happen. Angie says she's having to get her cats used to collars for the move to Greece. People need to know their own because they don't have ear clips. They could be mistaken for strays. That's very true. So yeah, they do need to get used to it, and that's for their own safety. So that's you know, they just have to deal with it, won't they? So right, let's get some of these. Let's get these clouds on here. Where did I want them? I need to just figure out. So what I'll do is I'll stick these down flat, but then my cat in his paper plane is going to be popped up. So I think we'll have that one up there, and then my sentiment can sit down there, can't it? So I think that will work. So I'll add a bit of adhesive just onto one side of this because it is going to hang over, but I don't mind that it's going to hang over the edge. I quite like that look. Just looks, it just takes it out of the picture, and it's just, I think that's quite fun. Obviously it's not going to fit into a standard size envelope because of that. So you could either make your own envelope, or you know, it depends what you're planning on doing with the card. You know, this is probably not going to get sent anywhere at the moment, so I don't mind that it's a little bit larger than normal. But you could, if you wanted to, you could just snip the edges off if you wanted to. But I think that's spoils some of the fun. So that can go there, and then he's just kind of zooming through the clouds, and then I'm flying by to say hi. I think I will also attach that just in a just flat with the liquid adhesive. So that's kind of cool on there. So what else has been happening this week? Well, I mean, really, it's all been very much about Create and Craft and the new release. So thank you to everyone that's placed orders from the new release. It was so busy. I can't hold on to this. Yeah, so busy. So I've literally been packing orders, it seems, for about 10 days. So I was obviously packing up the order for Create and Craft, packing up orders from the new release. I've also been packing up retailer orders as well. So it's been super busy. Lots of delivery trucks coming to the door every 5 minutes. To pick up parcels, and yeah, it's been very hectic, and at the same time I've been trying to prepare for future releases. So the likelihood is there won't be a release in June. So we're going to do some things that are a little bit different in June. We may do another online class, either late June, beginning of July, and some more online stuff, some more Facebook Lives if I can, which is what I'd really like to do. And what I'd really also like to be able to do, which again I'm not sure whether I'll be able to, but we shall do our best, is a real life in-person workshop and class. That would be so cool. As some of you will perhaps remember, I was just about to launch my very first in-person class, and I booked the rooms and everything was in place, and then we went into lockdown. COVID happened, and it all had to be cancelled. So, and then there's never been obviously an opportunity for those to reopen and restart since. So hopefully we're in a situation where we might be able to start running small classes again, and I just need to look into all the legalities of that and how we can make that happen. But if we can make that happen, then that would be amazing if we could do that as well this over the course of the next 2 months. So yeah, really hoping to spend a bit of time on that coming up. But having to prepare so far in advance for new releases because of manufacturing delays, everyone's under so much pressure at the moment that things are taking a little bit longer. So it just means I have to be a bit more prepared for things and planning a little bit further ahead, which I've never been the best at, I have to say. But I've got loads of different ideas, loads of new products planned for the future. Think different products, lines, things that we haven't done before. So yeah, really excited about those. So yeah, it's going to be again another few busy months, but all very exciting. So I think that might be our little card finished. I don't think he really needs anything else, does he? I just really think that that's a really sweet card, and I love the simple background. And I think the choice of colour in the background was actually perfect. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing that one. How was that for you guys? Just catching up on your comments. Paula says the kitty and the paper plane are super cute. Cam says super cute. Julie says, will the snail stamp and dies be coming back in stock? Yes, they will. I'll come back to that one in a second and just catch up with some comments. Julie says, classes, yay, one of my craft clubs has returned. You just have to wear masks when moving around, but when sat at your own table you don't need one. That's pretty easy to do, isn't it? She says, super cute, love the card. Paula says, love this so much. Jessica Brumby says, looks adorable. Kirsty says, super cute card. Thank you, guys. Angie loves it. And Esther says, super cute. Yay. Thank you, guys. So the snail stamps will be coming back in stock. I will have to put in an order with them along with the next one. So that does mean that it might take a little bit of time because, like I said, there are delays with manufacturing at the moment. But hopefully that won't be too long. So yes, so just hang in there because it will be coming. So that is our card for this evening. It is 9 o'clock already. So Siobhan says, very cute and I love the houses. Are we up for another quick one, or shall we call it a night? I don't know what to, I don't know whether I've got it in me to do another one. Let's have a think. Let's have a think. What could I do? I could do a little bit of ink blending might be in order perhaps. So Jess says yes, another. And Angie says she's going nowhere, bless her. So shall we do another one? I think we might just do a quick, clean and simple bit of ink blending. See, let me have a look here. I've got, we could do another paper planes one, couldn't we? With some more, just but like maybe a clean and simple one while we're doing that. I also had thought of maybe just doing some nice ink blending with the lovely friend sentiment, which might be kind of cool, because I do really love the new stencils that we've got for this kind of thing. I do particularly like that diamond burst. I think that's a really cool one. So we could do that. Let me just have a see what I've got in my stash here. Let's have a look. We've got a little bit of a hello, lovely friend. That could be quite cool, couldn't it? Yes. Or we could go with some critters. What do we think? Kirsty says she has to go, needs to pick up her son from Taekwondo. Catch you all next time. Thanks, Joe. Thank you for joining us, Kirsty. Lovely to have you with us, and we'll see you next time. I'll be here on Thursday this time at 8 o'clock next, so I'll see you then. Siobhan says if you have a quick one. Laura made it back. Petra says yes, always. And Nicola Ward says, hi, I just got home, sorry I'm late, first haircut tonight since everything opened up. Oh, I bet you feel like a new woman. I know I did when I had mine done for the first time. So I'm going to do, I think let's do, right, I'm going to use this die set here. And I'm going to so let's pop this one to one side, but I do love that one, but I am going to cut some cardstock using this die here. Pop this to one side, and we're going to do some more stenciling. I think we'll do and we'll do a nice simple sky background for this one, because we're going to use some more of it. We're just going to have a night with the paper plane pals this evening, but I need to find myself some cardstock, so bear with me. I have got lots of little offcuts, but none of them are big enough for my requirements, so I shall have to get a fresh piece of my super smooth card here. So there we go, that's a piece there. So let's get this cut out of here. So I'm going to have to be noisy again, I'm afraid. So let's I'm just going to trim this down so that it is smaller to go in my die cutting machine, because that means then that I can just twist it a little bit on my plates. So I should just show you, I can just, rather than having it sat this way where there is a different pressure along my on my plates because they're curved. If I just pop it across the middle like this on an angle, it's more likely to pick up all the right pressure points and cook first time. So that's just because my plates are a bit bowed. So cover your ears for a moment. My cord keeps coming out of my machine. So, what else have we been doing this week? So we've been to visit our nephew this week. It was his birthday last week, I think. So, or maybe the week before, we went to take him his gift. Anyway, he's 4, but we've not seen him really at all during lockdown. Well, since lockdown began, and he's changed so much in that time. It's just crazy how much he's changed. So, yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And at the same time we went to see, like I say, our in-laws have moved house, so we went to see their new house, which was very cool. I'm just going to give this, I don't think I cleaned this off since we used it last, so let me just give this a little clean. So I'm going to do this one a bit differently, in that I'm going to go a bit brighter for this one. And we're going to go a little, we're going to do, so the last one was a bit more kind of a muted, still colourful, but more of a muted colour palette. This one now is going to be a bit brighter and a bit bolder. So just need to dry this off now because it just made it a little bit wet, so we just want a dry stencil. This is a really cool stencil for building scenes with your little, with the trees there. I love this, but I am just going to use the clouds again, because I'm loving the clouds. And I'm going to use, instead of using the stormy sky, which was a bit more of a muted colour, I think I'm going to go with, no, see, even the broken china is still a little bit too muted for me. I think I'm really into the salty ocean, which I know seems like, wow, that's really bright blue, but we're going to keep it subtle, or I'm going to try to. And again, if it's too bright, no worries, we'll just start again. So we'll just do it again. It's just a piece of paper. So again, I'm going to use this this new blue brush of mine, because I'm keeping this for the darker shades of blue that I'm using. This is a bit of a brighter blue. So, and I'm just going to keep it quite soft. So your brighter colours, you can still use them softly. You don't have to. Just don't, you know, apply so much pressure, which is something that I really am. I have to really tell myself off, not to press too hard, because I do have a tendency to be very heavy-handed. But I am getting better at it because the brushes allow me to just do that, and I just think that's a really nice colour of blue. So I'm gonna, and this is again, this is now using the Slimline stencil for the purpose that it was designed for, really, to use on a Slimline card. I think I'm going to use it that way, yeah. So it means that you can get a nice seamless blend all the way across your Slimline card base. So again, we're just going to do this really soft. Really soft. and build up these tumbling. And I think sometimes on screen you can't really see that I'm actually putting any colour down. I know when I was on TV, I think that was some of the, you know, the comments there was that it just looks like you're not applying any colour at all on screen. But when you remove the stencil, you really see just how much colour you've put down. So you can see when I take that away, it just really shows that actually it looks really quite bright and it's popped quite a bit. So I might just move that to the other side, yeah, and do that way. And again, just do. So there's so many different designs that you can get just from this one stencil, which is what I think is so cool about it, that you're going to get a different pattern every time, because you're going to flip it and move it in different ways every time you do it, and that's just going to give you a different pattern. So that's coming along nicely, and then we'll just pop this one there. So I'm just moving it from side to side. I can see the pattern underneath, because the stencil, although it isn't completely clear, you can still see through it. So I can see, you might not be able to see it on screen as well as I can see it in real life, but I can see where I've already got clouds underneath. So I'm just varying the pattern up and trying not to let those cross over, so that it looks like each layer is behind the last. And just blending that in. And like I say, it looks sometimes like, well, I've not really done anything, but you absolutely have. So this one can just go on here. Again, just a light blend on there. There we go. And any areas where you just think it's just still a little bit white, you can just go back over. So at the bottom here, that is a little bit too white, so I'm just going to add some ink over that and just blend right the way up and over each of those clouds, so that they all look softer. But you can, you know, I'll compare it to the last card in terms of the blue, and it just how much more vibrant this is in comparison, but it's still quite light and soft. So that's pop that one. Oh, there, that one goes there. So that's our two cloudy backgrounds, and you can see, you know, this one is a much brighter blue, and this is much more, it's more of a grey blue, which I just think that's really pretty. So I still really love that, but I'd also love the brightness in this one. So let's get this wiped clean. So we used the paper plane. That was one that I'd already stamped and die cut, but I don't have another one, so I'm going to stamp another one at least of those. I might actually need 2 or 3 for my card design. Alison says she's going to have to watch me tomorrow. Julie says her battery's going to die, so she's going to have to go as well. Angela says, what colour of blue was it? Sorry, it was the Salty Ocean, that one. Salty Ocean. Alice says, I love that you can use it for slimline and normal cards. Absolutely, that's the great thing about these slimline designs is that you can use them for smaller cards too, which is cool. So that's it. You want to get as much out of it as possible, don't you? So my iPad has cooled down a little bit, so I'm going to see if I can get logged on. So I did get a Slimline card base out before. This is a DL card base, but I'm going to trim this down because the UK DL sizes are quite a bit wider than the American sizes. So I do like to cut these down so they're a little bit slimmer because I prefer the slimmer shape. So I'm going to do that now. So then we've got our card base sorted. So I don't really do any measuring. I can't be bothered. So I'm going to just pop it into my trimmer here. I'm going to line up the edge of my my die cut here as a guide, and then I'm just going to pop that through. And this trimmer is the best trimmer ever. I love it so much. Best purchase of a trimmer that I've ever done, I have to say. So if anybody's in the market for a trimmer, I would highly recommend that one. It's a great bit of kit. So pop its little hat back on. Yeah, it still doesn't want to log me on here. It's being very random. So that's our background. So I'm going to go with obviously some more of our lovely little critters here. But I think I want a few of them just trolling along my background here. That's quite a cute idea. I like that because that matches my background really well. So I need a couple of my my paper planes, and I have got a little here we go, a little folder with some stamping card in, which is great because it's all like little offcuts that I can use just to stamp some smaller images. So, and this one would probably be just right for our purposes. So again, I'm going to use my stamping block, I think, for this, and I'm going to get my larger paper plane and some Memento Tuxedo black, and sorry, I was just trying to read some of your comments because I'm having to look over to the other side of my desk to see my my screen, but I think we may have lift off on the iPad here. Yay! Annalisa says Jeffens refers to clouds like this as Simpsons clouds from the opening scene of The Simpsons. That is so true. Okay, now then, let's see how much I can maximise this cardstock. So yeah, I'm being a little bit brave and just using my stamping my acrylic block. Didn't do a perfect job of that one, so I'm going to do that again because I let it rock, which is rather annoying. So I'm just going to pop that on there. That's much better. So again, it's just practice really, I think, with these things. You just have to it's a skill that you just need to practice, and again, it's not going to be perfect every time because you are you're doing it without any kind of assistance, which that's fine. And again, it's handmade and it doesn't have to be perfect, so don't be so hard on yourself if it isn't 100% perfect. Now, because I want to do this a little bit more colourful than we've done the previous one, I want to colour my paper planes in. And I'm going to do these in some really cool primary colours, I think. So what colours shall I choose? I'm thinking we've got reds and blues here in their scarves. So I'm thinking we probably should go kind of down that route. And I'm thinking that maybe, but I don't want to do one red, one blue, because that's a bit too obvious perhaps. So I'm thinking that maybe that a yellow and I wonder if maybe yellow and green might look nice. Is that too many colours? Is it a bit too rainbowy for us? Or maybe if we just went with kind of a red and an orange look. Let's have a play. Let's have a play. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I'm going to have a little play around here with a couple of colours. I'm going to do a green here, and let's just go for it. I think that it's going to look quite cool. Nice bright rainbowy paper planes. Angela says it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be what we call netches properly in English. So it has to be proper. Is that what that is? Is that what that means? I'm sure I didn't pronounce that correctly at all. I'm very sure I didn't. So I'm just going to add a little bit of shade in here. This is going to be a really nice bright green, which I love. And I think we probably need it just a little bit darker. Don't know whether this is going to be dark in the right way, but let's have a look. It might be a bit too green, but let's try it. Yeah, quite like that. So Alison says she needs to find some camouflage paper and she can see those papers as Spitfires. Yes, very good. Did I pronounce it correctly? Oh, I can't even remember how I pronounced it now. I'll probably not pronounce it correctly the second time. I might call it quits on that. So that's my green, and now this one I think I'm going to do in like an orangey yellowy colour. So do I like this colour? That's quite a nice, that's a nice colour. Let's try this one. So we're going from being sort of kind of muted and realistic colours to really playful and bright. So it's nice to be able to mix those things up. See, the only problem here is that I can never really find the colour that's a bit darker than this one that's the right shade. That one's a good one. just adding a bit of shading at the tips and then underneath the fold of the and they're right into the fold there, so it looks like there's a bit of depth to the paper plane, but we don't have to go nuts. Oh dear, my iPad's given up the ghost again, and my computer's also gone to sleep. That's how long we've been on here, guys. Everybody's gone to sleep. So let's try some of this. This might be a bit orangey. No, that's good. That's good. Just because I want to add a bit of depth underneath, so that it just looks like it does have a bit of, like I say, a bit of depth to it. So let me just get the computer screen back on so I can see what you guys are saying. Jessica's crafting along now. She's had her dinner. Excellent. So we need to cut these guys out. So like I mentioned before, the die for the paper plane has the little slit in it for your little characters to sit inside. So you can take that out and detach that so that you don't have to cut that slit in there, but I've kept mine attached because I think more often than not I'm probably going to want to have a little critter in this plane. So but you know, it's no problem if you didn't want to. You just detach it, and then all you'd have to do is just use some washi tape to stick that back in place. But the reason that I don't want to remove it is because it is perfectly positioned now for where that slit needs to be. So you know, as long as I've lined up my die correctly, then it will be in the perfect place for me. So I'm just going to create a little bit of space here, and I'm going to use my little die cutting machine to save everybody's ears, and we will cut both of these little guys out. And then again, this should come together quite quickly now. We just need to decide on our sentiment, which I think I'm gonna, we've got let your dreams take flight, or the sky's the limit. So either of those would be great, wouldn't they? So I'm just going to line this up on here, and that's there. This is such a cute little die cutting machine. Jackie says, hello Jackie, she's crafting, making 4 quick cards with the roses and diamond stencils for tomorrow. Love the release. Oh, thank you Jackie, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see what you've made. Please do share it with us, because you know, I'm sure everybody would love some inspiration for quick cards. We all love a quick card when we're in a bit of an emergency. So I've now got my little paper plane there with my little bunny, and then my paper plane with my little panda. So we can have one down here and one down here with the little heart connecting them in the middle. And then we've got the sky's the limit. In fact, we could probably use both sentiments actually, which would be quite cool. Let your dreams take flight, the sky's the limit. I like that idea. And we've also, in the set, you also get these smaller planes coming in different directions, which is kind of cool. So you could have some more of these just flying about. What do we think? Or do we not need those? Do you know what? oh, do you know, did see somebody do these on a little action wobbler. That would be really cool, I think. These guys on a little action wobbler. I don't think I've got any. Oh, I have got one. I do like this little plane, but I think maybe yeah, I like the little plane. I've only got one little plane though. I think this plane's too big potentially. It's taking up a bit too much space. So maybe another little plane might work quite nicely. What do we think? Does it add to it or does it not? Petra says yes, that looks extra cute. 3 small ones, you think? Yeah, I think the small ones are better than the large ones, aren't they? I think it just needs that something a little bit extra. Thank you for the vote, Petra. That is decision made. So, little stamp. Even smaller acrylic block for this. And this one isn't going to take any colouring in at all. I think I've probably just used maybe like a cool grey to do this one. So, stamp a couple of these, and that's job done, isn't it? And again, this one's coming together nice and quickly. So we'll just pop this to one side. And we need the coordinating die. So let me grab this. I'm going to pop these back before I lose them. So you can see I've just got mine here on a magnetic sheet. So and the little one is there. Let's grab that. And again, this can go through my little die cutting machine. So just line this one up, and with all the dies, but the smaller ones in particular, you just have to be a little bit careful about how you line them up, just to make sure that you've got it in the right place. They are quite easy. So I think me messing about with the stream onto YouTube earlier has completely messed up all of my devices, because I now can't even see what I'm doing on the computer. I mean, I can see your comments, which is fine, but I can't actually see myself moving. I just look like I've stopped. So hopefully I haven't stopped. Hopefully I don't. There we go. So now it's making a noise. There we go. I've just had to restart it. Computers are a funny thing, aren't they? Technology is a fickle thing. So, yeah, so what's everybody got going on for the rest of the week? Any crafty plans, crafty catch-ups, or is everybody working back at, is everybody back at school now? Are kids back at school? With Ant and I not having kids, we never know what's going on with kids' holidays and stuff. Angela says, no, I've not stopped and I'm still moving, says Lauren. Thank goodness for that. So I've got my 2 tiny little aeroplanes here, paper planes. So I'm just going to add the tiniest bit of shade in there. Doesn't have to be perfect. all. Netes, is it Netes? Netes? Oh, I've said it totally wrong now, haven't I? So that's those little guys. So we'll just pop them to one side. Let's get this little guy put together. And again, I'm going to start with my background piece. I'm just going to use my bone folder here just to smooth down that crease so that it folds shut, but it's still a little bit bouncy. So to prevent the bounce, I'm going to take a bit of this washi tape that I used earlier. I'm just going to fold it up into a little circle and pop it inside and press that shut, because then that'll keep my my card shut while I build. So I don't want it moving around while we're building. And I'm going to use again some of my super duper thick tape here, which is going to give me a really good amount of dimension. And pop that on there. That's a bit wonky, Joe, again. And hopefully you can't see that. No, you can't. That's good. And I'll just add a little bit more on the end of there, and a bit on the end of there, and that should be sufficient. Oh. So Angela says that it's their half year end in 3 weeks, so loads of work as well. Laura says she's got loads of work at work as it's end of year there in 3 weeks, and lots of June birthdays and Father's Day. I think you're up to 15 cards required. Some have been ordered by friends, so a busy month. That's awesome. That's brilliant, that little crafty business, but obviously it's a lot of pressure making 15 cards. That's a lot of work. So good luck with that. Yes, I need to get Father's Day card done, and then the following month is my dad's birthday as well, so Father's Day and Father's birthday. Angie says lots of crafty work on, as well as packing boxes. Jess is looking for a new job. And Jess says, you don't happen to have a job going, do I? You're in Lincoln, aren't you? I think it might be a little bit far for you to travel, unfortunately. I am thinking about hiring a helper, a little helper, I have to say, because I am totally snowed under, and I know that the government's doing a bit of a scheme at the moment to give businesses a little bit of a hand with staffing to get us through COVID, so yeah, I am going to look into that and see if it is a possibility. I don't know if it will be, but I'm definitely at the point where I think, goodness, I could use some help, but it's obviously it's an expense as well, and also having time to train someone up is would I be able to do it? I don't know. So it's so many things to consider and think about. Angie says it's a shame that you're leaving the country. Jess says that Sheffield is fine for you. Lauren says she's a teacher, so it's all the handover for kids to go to new classes, parents' evening calls, reports, introducing new software. Oh my goodness, that sounds like a real headache. Lauren says, oh, time for tea helper. Shame Sheffield is far away. I know. Jess says that you can help with graphics, photography and packing. You can travel for a few days a week, hands-on help, and for the others at home for design work. Bless you. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Well, I shall, like I say, I'll definitely be looking into it and seeing you know, what I might be able to get help with, because paying for a full-time member of staff is probably something that I couldn't afford to do at the moment. But if the government's able to offer some help, well then maybe it could become a reality, who knows. So let's get my little guys on here, and let's see what we can do. Get these guys popped up with some of our super duper foam tape. It sounds like everybody's got a very busy week ahead then. Angie, you're packing boxes. Are you moving back over to Greece now? Are you is that your next plan? And are you designing? Are you doing crafty stuff for Create and Craft this week? Because it's Christmas, isn't it, on Create and Craft at the moment, which is just absolute madness. But I guess it is something that we're going to have to start thinking about soon, especially those of you that that are, you know, taking orders from friends and family and have got online businesses selling your cards. You want to get ahead of the game, don't you, and get your Christmas cards ready. I'm just not in a Christmassy place in my head yet, but having said that, I really do need to start thinking about Christmas designs myself, really, because it'll not be long before I'm going to have to start thinking about getting those manufactured. So that means that, you know, in the middle of the summer, when everybody's thinking lovely sunshiny holiday thoughts, I'm thinking about snowmen and Father Christmas. And I'm just not, I don't know, it's just, it's hard. I find it hard to put myself in that place. So I feel like I want him on a bit of a jaunty angle, but I also need him to line up with his mate. So I'm going to pop him there. And then that's going to go there, and then his mate's going to go there. His mate is going to go there. I have to tell you guys that I have been, and you'll probably think that I'm super sad, but I am the last person to the Game of Thrones party that ever was. I have just started watching it, and of course it's all extremely Yorkshire in places, and it's, you know, it's really funny. I mean, it's not funny, it's really quite violent. I hadn't appreciated the level of violence in this programme, but I am actually quite addicted to it now, and can't believe that I didn't discover it sooner. And I have been binge watching it while I've been preparing for Create and Craft, and while I've been doing all my other bits and bobs. And I'm on series 4. I'm into series 4 already, so no spoilers, please. But yeah, I am a bit obsessed with it, and I'm loving all the Yorkshire accent. It's probably making me much more Yorkshire and more northern than, I mean, a lot of them are more Manchester accents, I have to say, but obviously Sean Bean in the first series is from Sheffield, where I'm from, so yeah, it's funny to hear those accents so often. Okay, so we've got another little paper plane there. I think these can be in like different angles, zooming. Oh, I quite like that scenario, where they're like kind of coming along the, that's quite cute, isn't it? Quite like that. What do we think to that, guys? Alison says it's fab, she's watched it all twice. Alison says that she's never watched Game of Thrones and doesn't intend to. Jess says she hasn't started watching it yet. Oh, there you go then. Lauren doesn't intend to either. I never intended to, Laura. I never intended to, Alison. I didn't expect to like it at all. But actually I've really got quite into it. And yes, there is quite a lot of violence in it. So if you've not got the stomach for the violence, it's probably not for you. Because I'm only half watching it, I don't really see a lot of the violence. I just hear a lot of screaming. But I don't really see a lot of it. I am quite liking all of the intrigue and duplicity and the politics of it all is quite interesting. And like I say, the Yorkshire accents is quite interesting. But yeah, Ant and I have always been quite partial to some historic violence. We watched, I don't know if anybody remembers or ever saw Spartacus, Blood and Sand. I'd never seen it until I met Anne, and then Anne introduced me to it, and it was like, oh right, okay. But there was also quite a lot of fit men just in like loincloths, which was quite interesting. Alison says there's a lot of rudies in it. Yes, there was a lot of rudies. So I'm liking that. I'm inclined, I don't know whether to add some of my little birds, or whether that might be a bit too much. That might be too much. I think the little planes is just really quite cute, isn't it? Now I added a little bit of shimmer on here, and I think I used this Jelly Roll pen, the Clear Star. I'm just going to test it out. I think it was that one. So I think what I'll do is I'll just add a bit of that same shimmer to the edges of the planes. So then it'll just make those coordinate a little bit. I'd already added some glaze to the glasses, which I think is really cute, and I'd already added some glaze to the panda's nose, but obviously I haven't added any of the any highlights to my paper planes here, so I am just going to do that now, because I do like to add a little bit of that to just finish those off. And I'm not, you know, I don't really know what these highlights represent particularly. I just think that they look nice. So they're probably, I don't know whether they're where highlights would be, but I like them. So, and that's, you know, your card should be something that you enjoy. So, and I really like how that turned out. I think it's nice and bright, and it's really quite simple. But, right, I don't know if you can hear that noise. That is my plumbing pipes just suddenly deciding to make a weird noise. Don't know why that would be, but there you go. So Angela says, what do you use for highlighting the plane? It was another Jelly Roll pen. It's a white opaque Jelly Roll pen in the size 08, this one. We do sell these in the shop, but I'm not sure if I've got any in stock. If I have, they're very low numbers, so I may need to order some more of those. Angie says, another fabulous card. Alison says, gorgeous card. Excellent, thank you so much. So these are the two cards. Let me see if I can get them both on screen for you to look at. There, hopefully they both fit on. Yeah, that fits, doesn't it? Yeah, that's good. I've squished them up too much now. There we go. So two very different cards, but using the same stamp set for the paper plane pals, and then that same stencil for the cloud background. So we've got two very kind of different finishes for the clouds there in terms of the colour scheme and the tones that we've used, but yeah, all from the same product. So just using different inks and a different style. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. I hope you guys like them as well. It's been really nice, like I say, to do some crafting when everything that I've been doing has been a bit more kind of the office work stuff, the packing and organising and inventory and all of those things, which are very, very important, and I still enjoy doing those things. They are very tiring, but you know, it's important stuff that needs to be done. But I love it when I get the opportunity to sit and do some crafting with you guys. So thank you for keeping me company tonight. It's been loads of fun, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it. And I can't believe we've managed to get 2 cards done. Siobhan says she loves them both. Thank you. Petra says, cute as always. Thank you for keeping me company while crafting. You're very, very welcome. You've been keeping me company. Lucy says, love the cards. Thanks for a Monday crafty session. Yeah, a secret little surprise extra session, which is always a bonus, isn't it? Jessica says they look adorable. Thank you, and thank you, Laura Ann. So I will be back on Thursday in our usual slot. Ant will be with me, hopefully, on Thursday. He will be off his, he's actually on holiday for a couple of weeks now. So I'm also going to have a little helper here as well for that time. So, so we'll see you on Thursday evening for our usual slot. Thank you so much, guys. Have a really great week. Don't work too hard. I hope you all get some crafting in, and I shall see you all soon. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye. Bye.